We're also getting some updates now that are coming in. Complaint has been filed against the filmmaker Leena Manimekkali in question for hurting religious sentiments. As I mentioned, this poster is going viral on social media, and a lot of people are talking about how this is okay. Is it is it okay in the name of art? These questions, of course, have come up earlier as well, and especially in the context where you have people saying that no religious sentiments should be heard, even in words. No challenge should be made to any belief, even in words. How is it okay to depict Hindu goddess and god and goddesses in such light? Of course, this is not the first such case. My colleague Mihir is also joining us. Mihir, can you tell us more about the complaint that has been filed?
Absolutely. From what we understand at this point is that a complaint has been filed for the post that this particular filmmaker Leena has made. Remember, the social media is abuzz, and a lot of tweets and responses are being seen on the social media regarding this particular poster, which is a documentary.
Mihir, just hold your thought. I'm going to go across to Vineet Jindal, who has filed this complaint. Vineet, tell us what is the complaint that you have filed? What are the sections under which you want an FIR registered?
But look, this Leena Manimekkali, who is so-called director, he has posting one short video clip and a photo, which is really objectionable of Goddess Kali, while they are showing that Goddess Kali has been smoking and having a LGBT flag in her hand. So I have filed a complaint under section 295A, 298 and 505 and 67 IT Act against this lady, because you see that now this is the trend kind of thing that everybody come and making a derogatory remark, making a derogatory post against Hindu community. But no such kind of legal action has been done. We have seen that Nadeem, who was arrested 2 days back, and after 1 day he is getting a bail. So when we are seeing about all this scenario, there is kind of atmosphere created by some persons like they have called that urban Naxals. So they are creating this kind of presumption that, okay, you are the Hindu community, you are in majority, but you cannot do anything. So we are in legal process. We have to stop all this kind of acts. We are in country. We are welcome every community, and we have a freedom of speech, freedom of expression. But it is with certain limitation. It's not to be like this to violate any kind of violation of any kind of article which is provided under our constitution, or any right to provided by the constitution to follow my religion or hurt my religious sentiment. So that's why we have filed a complaint against this lady, and hopefully Delhi police will lodge an FIR against her, and appropriate action should be taken against her.
Right. Vineet, if I remember correctly, you have filed a similar complaint, for example, in an earlier matter where a Delhi professor had also made a certain post on Lord Shiva. Why do you feel it is important for you to file these cases?
Look, being a legal professional, being in a legal profession, I have a right to file this complaint. I have a responsibility to file this kind of complaint, because I am a Hindu, belongs to a Hindu community. I am a follower of Lord Shiva and Hindu goddess. So this is my right, and this is my right which is provided by my constitution. And my law says that if any kind of act of any person who is going to violate or offend my religious sentiments, there is a section in which I have filed a complaint against both the person. Like previously, I filed a complaint against Ratan Lal, and now this.
Yes. Okay. Vineet Jindal, thanks a lot for joining us and giving us your side. We're also inviting calls from our viewers now. This poster which shows Hindu goddess Kali smoking a cigarette. Has the film crossed the line? Does this fall under expression of art, freedom of expression and speech? And are there double standards when it comes to the depiction, the talk, the comments on Hindus and their belief and any other beliefs in the country? Mihir also continues to be with us. Mihir, can you tell us more about the background of the filmmaker concerned here?
Absolutely. This is a filmmaker from the South, and who's also a poet, has written books. From what we understand is that the poster of this particular documentary titled Kali is seeing a picture of a woman having cigarette in her hand or smoking. That has not gone down well with people. This is not the first incident where a filmmaker has run into trouble for trying something like this. There have been past instances where filmmakers have really not shown the responsibility and gone ahead and depicted certain things that have been objectionable. In fact, there was a Netflix web series Tandav which did something similar to this effect and ran into trouble. We know it drew severe criticism as well as protests from BJP leaders. Ram Kadam was heading that. This looks like on similar lines.
And Mihir, what do we know about the content of the movie itself? I mean, how is it justifiable, even if it was something, in the provision of expression, artistic impression? What is the content of the movie and what is the need to have goddess Kali in it? And what is the need to show her smoking in the movie? What's the justification for that? What's the context?
Absolutely, that is something that Leena will explain, but from what we understand is that the documentary is, from what we see in the poster, is to do something with a person playing Kali, and if they are showing her smoking, then that has hurt the sentiments of Hindus, and this would, looking at the past trends, it appears that this wouldn't be the only complaint. There could be multiple complaints against her for this kind of act. But there is a censor board which does look into the matter, whether this documentary was censored, certified, does it come under the purview also, one doesn't know. But if there is censorship, there is also an added responsibility of a filmmaker to ensure that while creating
Mihir, I'm going to come
something-
back to you. Incidentally, we have another Mihir now joining us. This is one of our callers joining us from Kolkata. Yes, Mihir, go ahead.
It is highly objectionable, and I think the administration will take cognizance of it, and she should be arrested immediately. And I do also believe our Honorable Supreme Court will take cognizance of this matter. Now, this nation is going to hell because of these people. Earlier, this so-called famous M.F. Hussain has made this mistake. And I would also like to see the lobbies of liberals, those who are Twitter masters, they should come out and condemn this matter. And she is highly objectionable. She should be taken in task heavily.
So Mihir, okay, all right, Mihir, thanks a lot for joining us. Clearly, people don't feel that this is something that can continue. And I go back to my colleague Mihir now, because Mihir, we've seen in many Indian films, similar liberties have been taken. And while there was a widespread tolerance for it, what's happening is that window is now shrinking, because you see what happens in the case of Nupur Sharma. Everybody is up in arms. But you, at the same time, then cannot justify that this kind of content is okay, which is purely fictional and depicts Hindu gods and goddesses in a certain light. Now, because of the reaction and the hysteria created in the Nupur Sharma case, the space for expression and speech actually all around is shrinking. Mihir, I'll come to, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. I'll come to you in just a bit. Srinivasan is joining us from Bengaluru. Our next caller. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes.
My only thing is, this kind of thing is gross, because previously also we have seen in the West, there have been depiction of gods and goddesses on footwear, etc., which was sold on various websites and all, and then it was taken down. Now, these youngsters who claim to be the sentinels of free speech, etc., they should understand there is a thin line which they should not cross. I don't know whether they believe in God or not, But then again, those who believe in God, no, they should not hurt other sentiments.
Yes.
So you can keep your sentiment to yourself,
Hmm.
but then you should also think about sentiments of others. And mostly it is seen that young people who fall into the trap of these new age, liberals,
Mm-hmm.
so-called,
Hmm.
the sanskars which is there, that is somehow it is going down and which should not happen. Thank you.
All right, Srinivasan. Yes, may